Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. This is Pianoteq 8 by Modartt, a virtual instrument software that uses physical modeling instead of sampling to recreate famous pianos and other instruments. What is physical modeling? According to IntegraAudio.com, physical modeling is the use of algorithms, equations, and mathematical models, formulas to create virtual instruments from scratch that emulate acoustic instruments' physical components and vibrating characteristics. In other words, what you're hearing is not a real piano, but it sure sounds like it. The benefit over sample-based virtual instruments, which are libraries of recordings, is that physical modeling takes up very little space on your hard drive, can be customized in ways that are impossible for sample libraries, and can often be way more expressive. The usual downsides are that they use more CPU, and they can sometimes lack the harmonic complexities of real instruments, which sample libraries usually preserve. However, Modartt is an exception to this rule. Their pianos are so realistic that they have the approval of many renowned piano manufacturers, such as Steinway and Petroff, to name a couple. This software only takes up about 50 megabytes to download and installs in seconds. It works on Mac OS X 10.11 or higher, Windows 7 or later, and Linux. It's formatted as a VST, AU, and AAX, and is NKS compatible for those who own Native Instruments MIDI keyboards and want deeper integration. This software comes in 3 packages: Pianoteq 8 Stage, an entry-level version that offers the same high-quality piano sound you already heard in this demo, but without the expert-level customization options. This is great for those who are just interested in the sound with the benefits of modeling I mentioned earlier. It comes with 2 instrument packs, which lets you choose 2 of their instrument models. Pianoteq 8 Standard, which adds the ability to tweak settings like unison width, hammer hardness, and string length, the ability to add up to 5 virtual mics around the instrument, and load external reverb impulse files. This option gives you 3 instrument packs to choose from. Piano 8 Pro is their most advanced version, and the one I'm reviewing. With this version, you can delve deeper into Pianoteq's guts and change the volume, tuning, and attack envelope of each note. You can also customize the parameters of each note to get the specific sound you want. This is great if you're a sound designer. It supports up to 192 kHz sample rate, and Pro version comes with 4 instruments. So what's new in this version? Well, they've added a classical guitar, which I'll cover briefly, but I will review in a separate video, an improved piano modeling algorithm, a new graphic user interface, and now the iOS app, which supports all the features that will be included here. So let's dive in. As with a lot of companies nowadays, Pianoteq produces their own host software. In this menu right here, you can see all the instruments that you own. And as you can see, there is a long list of acoustic pianos, but they also have electric pianos, chromatic percussion, steel pans, harps, now a classical guitar, harpsichord, and then they have vintage piano collections that are more time period specific. So let's listen to the New York Steinway D one more time, but this is the default setting. I really can't believe how realistic modeling has gotten. This sounds harmonically rich. It's very expressive. As you can see in the velocity window, we have articulations from pianissimo to fortissimo. What a beautiful ring it has. Now, of course, with the Pro version, all of these settings can be tweaked. One cool feature that I liked right off the bat was calibration. Every keyboard manufacturer has a slightly different build with their keybeds, unless they're using a specific model from a third-party company. However, if your MIDI keyboard, for example, is like mine and is not really geared toward pianists, but more like middle-of-the-road type of playing, you can calibrate this to respond better to this plugin. All you do is press the calibration button. It's going to take you through some steps where it asks you to play through different dynamic levels so that it can test the average and set those points to specific parts of the velocity curve. It also does release and pedaling calibration, and this makes for a more tailored style of playing or more tailored feedback. This is the calibration that was set for me, and I have to say that I really like it. I did have a trial version of Pianoteq 7. I never bought it, but when 8 came out and I saw the new features, especially the classical guitar, I had to try it out. And I have to say that I am loving this, and I'm actually replacing a lot of my pianos with this software because of the customization options. So let's quickly go over them. In the background, you can see the room, the type of room that you're playing. And this is going to change depending on your presets or depending on the reverb type that you have. So if I go down to the reverb section, I can choose a room, and it's gonna change in the background. If I change the presets here, the room is going to be changed as well. So here is New Age. Prelude. That has a drier sound. My favorite, which you heard at the beginning, is Cinematic, which sounds really close and intimate. Let's hear the Hamburg Steinway. That has more of a wooden sound, a little bit harder, but still beautiful. Steinway B. Let's listen to the Petrov. Yamaha YC5. Really beautiful. They also have upright piano. One of the coolest things on here is the condition of the piano. So right here we have this little triangle that indicates the current condition. Right now it's set to mint, but if I drag it to the right, the piano starts getting older. So here is completely worn out. And this is great if you're doing certain type of movie effects. Believe it or not, I've actually played on pianos like this. Here's in the middle. There's something nostalgic and kind of sad about that, but that's such a great feature. Now they have 4 pedals. The first one is the soft pedal. Then you have the sostenuto and the regular sustain pedal. All of these are assignable. The second one is currently set to Celeste's pedal, but you can set it to different types of pedals. Let me go back to the Steinway sound. So you right click it and you can set it to soft pedal, sostenuto, super sostenuto, rattle pedal. Here, I'll show you that one. Click on it. I think that's putting a piece of paper on the strings, which I've done before, either on purpose or on accident. Here is a buff stop. So you get the idea of how easily this works and how customizable it is. Here you have the microphone menu, drop-down menu, and you can choose different sound settings. Here's binaural. You get a human perspective. Stereophonic. And monophonic. You could also customize the mic position. You have up to 5 microphones, and you can change the mic type as well to get the exact clarity that you want and the exact stereo image. So you can drag this around like this, change the direction. There's so many options here. And this is great if you're a sound designer. Another thing this is famous for is the ability to customize the physical properties of the instrument. Like the action, you can change the damper position. You can cause the strings to mute as soon as you let go of the key. You can hear the key release noise here. Pedal noise. Personally, I like hearing the pedal. It sounds like the piano breathing. You can change things like mallet bounce, has EQ. You can add different effects like modulation, vibrato, and tremolo. I like this feature, the attack envelope. Then add some tremolo. And then you have your effects section where you can add delay, see your different EQs, and then your reverb. And here again, you have access to all your reverbs. And if you want to load your own wave impulses, like if you have a certain room whose impulse response you have saved, you can load it in here. I don't, so I'm not going to show you that. If you right click on the illustration, you get this new menu where you can change the tuning diapason. It's set to 440 Hertz standard, but you can also change the temperament of the piano. Most modern Western music uses equal temperament. But if you're doing period music and you want older tuning systems like Pythagorean, or mean tone, and well temperament, you have that option. You can adjust the hammer hardness, if you want a brighter sound or a softer sound. You can adjust hammer noise, strike point. This is going to subtly change things to where you can get a more nasal sound to a more harpy sound. And then soft pedal, which smoothens the sound a little bit. So as you can see, there's lots of modification options with this. Let's listen to a couple of each different type of instrument really quick. Sounds pretty good to me. Here's a Wurlitzer. Pianoteq. Vibraphone with tremolo. Celesta. Glockenspiel. Steel drums. Here's a concert harp. Here's a cool feature. I like this. This is glissando pedal. So if you hold that down, that takes a little bit of getting used to. But here is their new classical guitar, which to me is amazing. In my experience, model guitars sound horrible. I'm not going to name the companies, but this one is actually pretty impressive. I'm only going to play a little bit for you because I want to go more in depth in a separate video. Here's a harpsichord. Here are their vintage instruments, their Karsten collection. Pretty cool. Square piano. So weird. Steinway Square original. Kremseg collection. I'm not really sure about the history of these instruments. I've never heard of them before, but it's really cool to have that option. This is amazing technology. Modartt is an amazing company. This is an amazing product. And as I said before, this is starting to replace a lot of the pianos that I already use because, first of all, it has all of these in one. It takes up almost 0% of my RAM. It's very easy to use, but highly customizable. It's just logically laid out. And I didn't have to use a user manual to find out where things were. You just click around a little bit and read the little information bubbles that they have on it. But the quality of the sound and the expression, the sound character is just out of this world. And we live in a really good time for music technology. So this is definitely on my recommended list. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope it answered some questions you had about the software. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think about this. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.